Hello friends, welcome to Korean language learning course. In previous lesson, we have covered present tense in simple and continuous form. Now we will continue the same topic with explanation of past tense. We will take the present perfect tense later as it is to be made using connectors of past tense. If you could recall, then in earlier lessons we divided the vowels into two categories, light vowels and heavy vowels. Light vowels are a, ya, o, yo, and heavy vowels are o, yo, u, u, e. We also learned that while using verbs, we check the verb root and depending whether it is ending on light vowel or heavy vowel, we attach it with a or o respectively. The same concept is followed while making past tense. The verb root ending with light vowels will be attached with at and verb root ending with heavy vowel will be attached with ot, followed by sunnida. Since at and ot already decided as per light and heavy vowel, so irrespective of whichever attachment we use, it will be followed by oyo only. Now let's make it clear through some examples. Khada, khas습니다, 갔어요. 오다, 왔습니다, 왔어요. 어렵다, 어려웠습니다, 어려웠어요. 좋다, 좋았습니다, 좋았어요. Let's make some sentences with past tense. 어제 학교에 갔습니다. I went to school yesterday. 아침에 밥을 먹었어요. I had food in the morning. 어제 프리아 극장에서 그 친구를 만났습니다. I met that friend yesterday at Priya Cinema. Let's take on first two of above sentences once again. We mentioned the time in both of them. We mentioned yesterday and we mentioned in the morning. Suppose we omit the time in those two sentences, then they can also be used for present perfect tense, like have done. 어제 학교에 갔습니다. I went to school yesterday. Now though we haven't used the subject I, but it is obvious since there is no continuous conversation based on which we can decide whether the subject is self or a third person. In such a case, we always assume that the subject is self. And in such case, if timing is not used, then past tense becomes present perfect tense. There is no other distinction between the two. For example, 저분이 어디에 있습니까? Where is he? 학교에 갔습니다. Here it becomes clear why we use the same particle as present perfect tense. Now since the interrogative particle where is referred here, so before we proceed further, let me explain different interrogative markers first. 무엇 or 무엇, which means what. 어느, which means which. 어떤, what kind. 무슨, which kind. 누구, who, used only for identity. 누가, it also means who. 어떻게, how. 얼마나, how much, used in context of time. 얼마, how much, used in context of price. 언제, when, where, why. We will use them as we move on with our course. Meanwhile, let's focus on ongoing topic. Simple past is already explained. Now let's move on to the past continuous. It is similar format as we did in present continuous. The only difference here will be that past particle will connect in the end part of the continuous connector. Let me show you here. 어제 그분이 음악을 듣고 있었습니다. He was listening to music yesterday. 얼마 전에 저분이 저와 얘기하고 있었습니다. He was talking to me before some time. I told you earlier that 얼마 is used for price, but here it is used along with the directional particle 전, which means before, to create the expression of before some time. Please keep in mind that 얼마 is not used here as an interrogative particle. Other interrogative markers can also be used in the same way, which we will learn later. So whenever there is specific pattern that connects with a verb root, all other particles or connectors will connect to the end verb of that pattern. Or simply you can understand that you have to attach all the tense markers with the end verb root only. If you use a negation in the past tense will be pushed again to the verb root of the connecting pattern. We already studied that negative connector is verb root plus ji antha. 학교에 가지 않았습니다. Or 학교에 가지 않았어요. What if there is a negation in past continuous tense? Yes, you guessed it right. We'll follow the sequence given below. Verb root plus continuous marker plus negation marker plus past tense. 어제 이야기하고 있지 않았습니다. Now let's learn past perfect tense. In Korean language, it is quite simple. Past perfect simply means double past in the past. So we simply repeat the past particle and our job is done. But since earlier we learned that only at and ot are connected to verb root based on whether the root has light or heavy vowel, and after that, irrespective of that, we connect it to o only. Here also, we'll connect the second past tense particle as ot only. 갔었습니다. 갔었어요. 먹었었습니다. 먹었었어요. 했었습니다. 했었어요. 그때 제가 그 일을 했었어요. Also, let me clear the difference between 이, 저, and 그. For example, 이분, 저분, 그분. In short, E is used to indicate something that is near to you. 저 is used to indicate something that is far from you. And 그 is used to indicate something that is far enough that you cannot see it right there. Negation will again follow the same rule, and so will do the continuous connecting pattern. Verb root plus continuous connector plus negation plus past perfect. 가고 있지 않았었어요. So that's all for this lesson. Please stay connected for the next lesson. Thank you.